The crash that changed Evier White Yoon Se-ri elegant, successful, and confident. She's one of South Korea's top businesswomen, admired by millions, envied by many. She owns her own brand, Se-ri's Choice, built entirely through her own effort, because deep down, she never felt she belonged in her family. Her father, the chairman of a huge conglomerate, never saw her as more than an outsider. Her stepmother was cold, distant, and manipulative, and her two brothers, greedy and selfish, fought only for inheritance. So Se-ri built a life where she depended on no one. But even with all her success, she often sat alone at night, staring at the city lights, wondering, is this all there is? One fateful morning, she decides to test her company's new paragliding suit, a high-tech model she designed herself. The sky is calm, the sun warm, and she smiles as she floats through the air, free for the first time in years. But fate had other plans. A sudden storm, violent, unpredictable, strikes without warning. Her parachute spins out of control, and the wind drags her across mountains and forests. When she finally lands, dizzy and terrified, she realizes she's crossed the border into North Korea. In the silence of the woods, she hears footsteps. A man appears, tall, serious, and calm. Captain Ri Jang-hyuk, a North Korean officer, his face expressionless, his eyes sharp. At first he points a gun at her, but when he sees the fear in her eyes, something stops him. He could turn her in, but he doesn't. Instead, he says quietly, if they find you, they'll kill you. Come with me. And from that moment, both of their lives change forever. Hidden in enemy land, Jang-hyuk secretly takes Se-ri to his village, a small, quiet place where everyone knows everyone. He hides her in his home, pretending she's a distant relative. His squad members, a group of loyal, funny, and warm-hearted soldiers, quickly become her protectors. There's the innocent and curious Yoon-dong, the quiet sniper Pyo Chi-soo, and the charming yet goofy Kim Roo-myok, who secretly loves South Korean dramas and dreams of Seoul.se-ri, used to luxury and freedom. Now lives with no electricity, no internet, no makeup, and a world where laughter is rare. Yet slowly, she begins to adapt. She learns to cook with limited ingredients, to speak carefully so no one suspects, and even to help the villagers in small ways. For the first time, she experiences genuine human warmth, something she never found in her rich city life. And Jang-hyuk, he begins to change to dot. At first, he's just helping her out of duty, but day by day, her humor, her courage, and her endless chatter begin to melt his cold, disciplined heart. They argue like children, they tease each other, and sometimes, in the quiet of the night, their eyes meet longer than they should. But danger is never far. A corrupt officer, Cho Chil-gang, suspects that something is wrong in Jang-hyuk's unit. He's ruthless, a man who destroys anyone in his way. If he finds out about Se-ri, it would mean death for both of them. So, every moment together becomes a risk, and every smile feels borrowed from fate. The truth and the risk. Jang-hyuk finally learns who Se-ri really is, a South Korean heiress who accidentally landed in the North. He realizes that every day she stays, her life hangs by a thread. He decides to help her return home, but doing so means breaking laws, defying orders, and possibly never seeing her again. Their bond deepens, but so does the danger. In one of the most touching scenes, they cook dinner together. She watches him silently chop vegetables, and for a moment, she imagines a life where they could simply exist, not as soldier and outsider, but as man and woman. She smiles softly and says, "You're the kindest man I've ever met." He looks away because he knows he cannot promise her a future. Meanwhile, Cho Chil-gang closes in. He starts investigating Jang-hyuk's father, suspecting his son is hiding something. Every second becomes a race against time, and just when Se-ri begins to feel safe, gunfire breaks the night. The escaped Jang-hyuk and his loyal squad devise a daring plan. They'll smuggle Se-ri out through secret mountain routes, paths known only to the military. It's cold, dark, and dangerous. They travel for days, hiding from patrols, crossing rivers and forests, but Cho Chil-gang is always one step behind. In a dramatic confrontation, he ambushes them near the border. Bullets fly, soldiers shout, and Jang-hyuk shields Se-ri with his body, taking a wound in the process. He doesn't let her panic. Bleeding, he forces a smile and whispers, "Run, you have to go now." Tears stream down her face as she begs him to come with her, but he knows crossing the border means death. Still, he pushes her forward, saying softly, "If I don't see you again, remember, I love you." As she crosses into South Korea, he watches from the shadows, until she disappears. That night, under a sky divided by barbed wire, two hearts beat in silence together, yet worlds apart. The RUNO, and back home, Se-ri's life returns to luxury. Her family, who once ignored her, suddenly showers her with attention, but she feels nothing. The food tastes bland, the air feels heavy, and every night, she dreams of a man who cannot be with her. She finds herself laughing less, and crying quietly over memories that no one else understands. Meanwhile, in North Korea, Jang-hyuk is punished and demoted for his actions, but he doesn't regret it. Every day, he plays the piano, the same song he once played for Se-ri under candlelight. Their lives continue separately, but their hearts remain connected by an invisible thread. Then fate brings them together again. Cho Chil-gang secretly crosses into South Korea for revenge. When Gang Hyuk learns this, he risks everything, crosses the border illegally to stop him. In one breathtaking moment, they meet again on the streets of Seoul. Tears, shock, joy. He tells her, "I came here to finish something." Together, they face their enemy, protecting each other till the end. But victory comes with a price. Gang Hyuk must return to North Korea. They hold hands one last time. Their goodbye silent and unbearable. She whispers, "Will we ever meet again?" He answers quietly, "Somewhere without borders." Epilogue. Love beyond borders pass. Time heals some wounds but not all. Se-ri now runs her company with grace and strength. But her weekends are spent in Switzerland, a country where her heart once found peace. Every year, she goes hiking, looking at the mountains that touch the sky. Sometimes she plays the piano, the same tune Gang Hyuk once played, and then one day, she hears it again. A familiar melody echoes through the valley. She turns, and there he is, Gang Hyuk standing by the lake, playing that song. They lock eyes, no words, just tears. The world around them fades. Finally, love has found its place, not in south or north, but in a land where no lines divide hearts. From that day on, they live quietly in Switzerland for a few weeks each year, their secret paradise where no one asks questions, and where love, finally, is free. Love doesn't always need forever. Sometimes, just finding the one who makes your heart feel at home, even for a few stolen moments, is enough. Because when love crosses borders, it becomes eternal.